am Alicia. I am an investor and a licensed real estate broker in the state of California. I'm also the creator of Get the Deed. Get you some deed. Okay, all right. So in this video I want to talk about when the seller asks you for money. When the seller says, "How much money do you have for a down payment?" And my first reaction to this, if it were me, would be, "What?" Okay, I say that in order to emphasize the fact that you don't need money to do this business. And if the seller is asking you for cash like that, then maybe you need to check your posture because you need to control that one. Okay, so nevertheless, a student brought this to my attention and they're doing a deal, and they asked me, what do they say? So I'm going to share it with you. So we know this is the scenario. The student called this seller on his ad on Zillow, and he found out that it's been on there for over 180 days. They couldn't sell it. The seller is a real estate agent who is also the owner, and they listed it on the MLS as well, and it's listed under value. Okay, that's nice. Oh, and by the way, may I say, the property is a executive type home, meaning that it's definitely not a starter home, but it's not for the really rich either. They got their own stuff. Anyway, so the first thing I tell him to do, which he knows to do, is to grab his deal sheet and to gather all the facts. Gathering the facts mean how many bedrooms, how many baths. So in this particular situation, the property is a 5-bedroom. It is a 4.5 bath, and it's beautiful inside, wonderful floors, and it has beautiful high ceilings. It has granite, and it has a pool. It has all the nice things that you'd want in a home, and it has a nice square footage and everything. It's in an exclusive neighborhood, sort of like with the kind that you would find a country club in, that one. Okay, so then let's dissect this deal. The first thing is this property is an executive type home. What does that mean? It means that you need an executive type buyer for this home. Okay, so unless you are working with those buyers already, I wouldn't exactly want to go right into this deal. You know, maybe that's not the kind of deal you want to start with. But nevertheless, you can find an executive to rent this home. And let me tell you something. They need a lease option home too. They've got bruise credit too. Okay? Stuff happens to everybody. All right, so enough said. The second thing I wanted to mention is what? He has it listed under value. What does this mean? Well, it's listed under value, but what it means is that he is not over leveraged. So he's not upside down. And if he's not upside down, that means that he has equity. And if he has equity, he's going to want the money for it. Yeah. So that's why he's saying to you, how much money you got for a down payment? Because he wants that money. That seed money, that's his equity. He wants that now. Okay, so then there's 3 possible ways that you could do this. These would be my 3 multiple offers, right? And you know what? They don't really require much money, and the first one does though. Okay, here goes. The first option, you could say, how much money do you need in order for you to do owner financing? Wouldn't be my posture. It would be more like, this is how much money I'm giving you. But nevertheless, the guy says, okay, give me $10,000 and then I'll give you a mortgage, or I'll finance you. Great. So you do the deal. You lay down your down payment because your seller says, I want money. So you're going to be obedient, and you're going to lay down your money, and you're going to fill out the purchase contract like normal. The only thing is he's financing you. I think that's still a good deal because you didn't have to go and get a mortgage from a mortgage company and check your credit and all that stuff. Okay, so that's great. If you hopefully you negotiated a low down payment and a low price, and you got favorable interest rate. It has to be good for him too, the seller, otherwise he won't do it. So let's say you came to an agreement and it works for you. Then your back end obviously is you need to go ahead and turn around and lease it up. Or you sell it if you can. Sell it on owner financing just the same and collect a huge down payment. So that's still a good deal. All right, so, but option number 2. For those people who, like me, don't want to give up the cash like that, or maybe you're just starting out and you don't have the cash like that. So you would put an option agreement on. You can control this property with an option agreement and a nominal option deposit. Nominal means small amount of money, like $100 maybe, and you tie it up exclusive of the listing, and you go ahead and turn around and go and find a buyer. That buyer could be a straight buyer, with a mortgage, all that, or you could put them together. In other words, whatever you negotiate on that option agreement, let's say $10,000 down and owner financing, then you would get from your buyer, let's say $20,000 with option. Okay, so and then you close on that and you make that extra $10,000 for yourself. So that's how you would do that second option. Requires no money except for $100. Okay, third option, and the option I like, is when you take control and you say, this is what I'm going to do. So you negotiate a higher price, slightly higher, not that much higher. We don't want to give away the store now. So you negotiate a slightly higher purchase price for the sake of getting the seller to finance. But it's not really seller finance. It's seller financing technically. But what you're doing is that you're going to tell him that you're going to take over the first mortgage, subject to, and then you're going to give him a second mortgage for his equity. So that's a promissory note. You give him, let's say, whatever that is. Then you make a promissory note, favorable favorable interest rate, and you close on that. You control it just the same way with a contract that spells out all that stuff that you're going to do. I'm going to take over your first mortgage, and I'm going to give you a note for the equity that you have in the property. Thank you very much. And then that's the end of that deal. So suppose the seller said, well, I need cash. I need some money now. So the third option wouldn't be right for him. The first option would be good because he'll get the cash, and the second option would be good too when you do find that buyer. Okay, so now I guess I could see you saying, okay, so what's the best option? All right, suppose you could do any of the options, right? Suppose that you had the money, and you could do number 2 and you could do number 3. It doesn't matter to you. You just want to know what the best option is. Think about it. Option number 1 is still good because you get this, you have to pay out a down payment, but you want to short kind of get it back from your buyer. You could get it back from your buyer, which is still a good deal. So when, let's say, you collected $20,000 from your buyer and you have $10,000 in it, then you would make your 10 right up front. That's good. Yeah. Okay, but look at number 3. It's still the best option. Why? Because you got what? Nothing in it. Okay, so when you collect that $20,000, how much do you get? 20,000, not 10. Okay, because the other one you had to use your money. This one you use nothing. Collect that 20, that's yours, 100%. So what's your return? Infinite. Come on. Infinite. Why? Because you had nothing in it. So that's the best option, my friend. All right, so I hope this helped you, and I wish that you would like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.